Hello, welcome. I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is the chart for the new moon, 11th of December 2015. This new moon's in Sagittarius. And as usually, I have set this chart so we're looking at Aries over here as the first house. It's a symbolic chart. So if you look through the colour wheel, here it is in the blue sector, the Sun and Moon at 19 of Sagittarius. Now, this time of year, Sagittarius is a fire sign. And of course, in the Northern Hemisphere and across the world, we're looking to the sun, we're looking to the light. And that light is represented, of course, at Christmas with the candles and the fairy lights. But it's also a time of reflection, of inner work. Now, this is a complex new moon, which is the seed for the next month, right up until January the 10th. And it's interesting because there's been a sequence of new moons at 19 degrees. So in your chart, if you have any planet around, say 17 degrees, 18, 19, 20, 21, you're very, very tuned in to these new moons. The first was October 13th, 19 Libra. November the 11th was 19 Scorpio, water sign. Today, this is 19 Sag, a fire sign. January will be 19 Capricorn, an earth sign. And then the final 19 degrees will be February the 8th, Aquarius, an air sign. So notice the elements. Elements are very important in astrology. Fire is enthusiasm. Fire looks up. Fire is heaven-bound, futuristic. However, there's always the however, if you look and you'll see there's a lot of tension. That's the squares, the red lines. And the Sun and Moon are in a right angle to Jupiter. That's the planet that governs or rules Sagittarius. Jupiter isn't strong in the sign it's in currently. It's in Virgo. Virgo is all about nitty-gritty. It's an earth sign, detail, criticism. Nothing wrong with Virgo. We all need Virgo in our birth charts. But Virgo, Jupiter's role is to look up, is to see a higher perspective. And Virgo is very grounded, looking at the tiny detail. So we can get caught, distracted in detail rather than see the overall picture. One esteemed astrologer mentioned this. She said, we're looking at too many things of, and criticizing and judging rather than looking at the solution to the problems that we are now facing. And solutions come from a higher viewpoint. That is actually seen at this new moon. Venus in the emotional sign of Scorpio is exactly trining Neptune in fellow water sign of Pisces. This is fast moving, this is only a couple of days, but it does happen to be the new moon and part of the signature of the new moon. Venus is personal love, Neptune is a divine love. So here we have the beautiful energies coming together in the emotional, heart-centered signs of feeling our personal connections with friends, with fellow human beings, with recognizing oneness. We're all breathing the same air on planet Earth. We are truly a global community. Chiron, also in Pisces, if you notice, has been holding its position. It's moving forward now. It turned direct just over a week ago. And so Chiron at 17 of Pisces is opposite Jupiter and making a square, it's called a T-square, to this new moon at 19. Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron in Pisces. It's an ongoing transit. Chiron takes a long time to go through the sign of Pisces, which means that a lot of people have Chiron in that sign. If you're born about 50 years ago, you're having a Chiron return. It was in Pisces virtually all throughout the 60s. So you're part of a generation of leaders and healers and spiritual healers. Chiron in Pisces is the wound of feeling disconnected from the divine. And if we're disconnected from our source, the source, then we have a problem. And it's the reconnection, reintegration, and the centaur, which is Chiron after all, governs Sagittarius. Half man, half animal. So it's the immortal man, it's not just any man, it's the immortal, godlike man with the instinctive feelings of the animal. And more I'm seeing on Facebook, because I am on Facebook, wonderful videos showing the connection of animals with human beings. The connection, I just had a text from Facebook as I'm talking, so boing, it's just saying that's true. Now, that connection, that reconnection, is what I would like to leave you with at this new moon. The other very important signature is Mars going through Libra. It takes 6 weeks to go through Libra. It's halfway there, but it's in the early hours of the 11th. It will be exactly opposite Uranus, early hours in the UK, and so that is not an easy association. Mars and Uranus, when they're not working together, can be accident prone, very ungrounded. Mars is in Libra, the sign of peace, but could also be a sign to do with creating a war in order to bring peace. And Uranus, the unexpected. We can't predict, as astrologers, what Uranus will do. And it is in Aries, it's in Mars's sign. And it's picking up the connection to Pluto, god of the underworld. That's an ongoing tension that we've had in the world since 2012. Pluto square Uranus. You might hopefully have heard of that. So Mars is bringing that up to the surface. Mars is governed in Libra by Venus. Venus is in Scorpio, actually governed by Mars, and Pluto both. So there's a strong feeling of, can Venus, can Neptune, can our hearts open and bring in the angels, bring in that connection to our source, to miracle-mindedness. That, to me, would be a great benefit of this new moon. The other thing to mention, Mercury. If you're sensitive to energy, you might well know when planets change sign. Mercury has just moved a couple of days ago into the very grounded sign of Capricorn, rather than the fiery sign of Sag. Mercury in Sag can be rhetoric. We only have to look at what Donald Trump's been saying to recognize that. If you don't know who he is, go on the internet, you'll find out very fast. The problem with Donald Trump is that some of what he says is very logical and very positive in my view, but there's an awful lot that isn't. And this is about at this time to discern fact from fiction, fact from rhetoric. Just, politicians just spouting out what they think the public wants to hear. And that can be fear-based. If we go into fear, prey on people's fear, then yeah, sure, people will go, yeah, he can be my saviour. That's all part of this story of this new moon. I'm going to be doing a webinar on the winter solstice obviously for the Northern Hemisphere, on December 21st. I'll be publicising those details very soon on my website. So if you're not a subscriber, I'd encourage you to sign up. www.healingstars.com, and I look forward to meeting you. Thanks for watching. Bye.